Right.
Let me ask one other
Right.
question to you, and that is, they've suggested that there be this 2 years if you're experiencing this with a partner that you've been with within the last 2 years. Do you think that there should be any kind of a limit at all, or should we just remove that 2-year part?
Well, I think you're trying to establish a pattern, and we know that sometimes this can happen quite quickly, where there's this sort of grooming behavior and this kind of pattern of behavior starts soon. I don't know exactly how long of a time frame there should be, although I do think there should be a period of time where you can start to look at the behavior over time, because in the beginning it can look kind of subtle and it can develop quite become normalized in the relationship and develop into something more significant. So I don't specifically have a timeline in phrase, but I do know that some sort of a timeline in order to establish that pattern would be helpful.
Yeah, very good. We did hear that, over time, especially if you have children together, that sometimes the behavior can escalate. I have another question for Ms. Cartwright. England put in their legislation, a list of things that were indicative of coercive controlling behavior, sort of including but not limited to kind of phraseology. And I see that they put in here threatening to hurt or physically harming a family pet. Do you believe that the Canadian legislation should contain a similar list with something like that?
Yes, we had put forward 2 amendments. One in recognition that our human services partners feel that there needs to be a definition of coercive control, and so we recommended in our submission to use the one from the Divorce Act, since it also recognizes animal violence in it. And then also to include it in the significant impact section, that the impact not only to her ability or the victim's ability to protect themselves or their children, it should also be to care for or protect their pets.